CBS News has confirmed CIA Director Mike Pompeo met yesterday with Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas. It came a day before Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's White House meeting today with President Trump. This is Netanyahu's first visit after years of frosty relations with President Obama. Jan Crawford is in Washington with how the president's advisor and son-in-law, Jared Kushner, is playing a key role in shaping Trump administration foreign policy. Jan, good morning.
Well, good morning. So Jared Kushner has really emerged as a quiet force in the Trump White House. He serves as a main conduit with foreign contacts in Mexico, China, Canada, among others. But when it comes to Israel and the Middle East, the stakes are especially high. And for Kushner, it's also personal.
If you can't produce peace in the Middle East, nobody can.
President Trump declared that his son-in-law Jared Kushner could broker the toughest deal in the world, lasting peace between Israelis and Palestinians.
Jared's agenda is not confused. It's perfectly aligned with the president's.
Critics point out that the 36-year-old businessman and husband of Ivanka Trump has no government or foreign policy experience. But Trump family friend and real estate mogul Thomas Barrack says that's an asset.
So you take his mind, his ability, his dedication, his focus in a fresh basis without a preconceived notion are actually better than having somebody who was in foreign policy for 60 years.
Foreign leaders initially were skeptical of Kushner, says the Washington Post's Philip Rucker.
They sort of assumed he's probably in over his head. He might be a spoiled kid of the president, and yet he's been very impressive to them.
Rucker says Kushner has been pivotal in shaping the U.S.'s relationship with Mexico.
Jared Kushner led the Mexican foreign minister into the Oval Office where they talked to President Trump, and they advised him to tone down his rhetoric about Mexico.
President Trump did just that in a speech.
We also understand that a strong and healthy economy in Mexico is very good for the United States.
But Kushner's counsel was short-lived.
It was the next morning, of course, where Trump went on Twitter and got into a feud with the president of Mexico, and the whole thing seemed to blow up.
Kushner's value, according to Thomas Barrack, lies in his ability to listen and distill information, and to do so without an agenda.
He understands how the president thinks probably better than anybody. And most importantly to the president, he's trustworthy.
Critics say Kushner, an Orthodox Jew, is pushing Trump toward a more hardline stance on Israel. But no administration over the course of 4 decades has been able to solve the Arab-Israeli conflict. Barrack says with a new set of leaders in the Arab world wanting a solution, the timing is right.
Israel aligned with tolerant Islam is the answer. And I think that that's what Jared is pushing towards, trying to use those relationships in a clean canvas with his influence on the president to say, have a soft hand, be culturally sensitive. This would be an opportunity for you, Mr. President, to maybe do something along the lines of what President Reagan and Maggie Thatcher did in bringing down the wall.
Now, in advance of today's White House meeting, Kushner had dinner last night with Netanyahu and Secretary of State Rex Tillerson. We don't expect there to be any policy pronouncements about the peace process coming out of today's meeting, though. Iran will be at the top of the agenda. Gayle?
All right. Thank you, Jan.